Good evening, my little sugar wiggles. How y'all doing? Made it home. And it's just like I didn't have a little snack when I was out there with my nephew this evening while we were out having fun. Can't get this together. Hold on, it looks fuzzy. It might be that I need to clean my screen too. Stop calling me while I'm on live. That's not cute. Oh, well, it is what it is. Y'all come on in the building when you get your notifications. Let's see, what can I do while I'm waiting on y'all? Turn all these phones down because it just seems like when I get on live, they just start calling. Hey, Miss Joy, I am starving, so I'm going to try to eat. Y'all know I don't do too good eating in front of y'all and eating out here on YouTube. I could never be a mukbanger, but I came home and made me a salad. That's what I have. Yep. Lettuce, cabbage, broccoli. What else I got? Egg and ham. I didn't have no turkey. I didn't feel like taking the chicken out the freezer and throwing it out. It was already cooked, but I was just like, okay, I need to use this pack of ham anyway. It was a small pack, I think, with 2 or 3 pieces in it. Not enough to hurt anything. I just wanted some meat. Looks good. Okay, thank you, Miss Joy. So, I'm always doing something. Let me let a few more people in so they won't miss the beginning of it. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna wipe my screen off while I'm waiting on somebody else to come in. And I did what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to come out here at least 3 times a day. Hello to everybody coming in. What's up, Bush Watchers? How y'all doing this evening? Y'all most certainly welcome to come in if you like. Okay, that just jumped out on my finger and on my pants. That ain't cute either. But it's what happened. Good thing I ain't already took my shower. Didn't have time to take a shower and change clothes. Okay, so we starting over. Got some paper towel right here. I'm going in there to get no napkins. I use what I got. Hey, Charlene. And so I did. Right hand corner at the top of the page is the like button. I appreciate you ring that bell when you come in. You do it when you enter people's homes. That's just, being polite. You just don't walk up in nobody's house and don't ring the bell. Okay? You just don't do that. It's just not good etiquette. Okay? Okay, let's see who else came in the building. Okay, let's see. Good evening, Ms.V, Moss, and chat. Blessings on this beautiful Thursday. It wasn't such a pretty Thursday here, but we got out. If y'all caught the video of me and my nephew, the one we did around 12 noon today, we got out and had a good time. And he was ready to go home because he was ready to play some game that he plays with on his PlayStation with somebody. I don't know nothing about it. But he's definitely changed. He's definitely an 11-year-old now. He doesn't act like that little boy who used to fall out and I used to have to threaten him and want to beat him and all that good stuff. Didn't want to go home. Now, he was satisfied with just riding the go-karts one time. We used to have to ride them 3 times. So I kind of like this new 11-year-old. That's our first time going somewhere together to, with activities. We've been in each other's company, but we haven't been out doing what we normally do. Okay. And wasn't shocked at all to tell me he had a girlfriend. I guess y'all saw that, huh? Came on out with it. Her name is Chloe. So, oh, we're going to have a talk here real soon. Uh-huh. Let's see. You hit the like button. I appreciate that. Hey, Carla, how you doing? Rena Love. Hey, how you, Rena? And welcome to Chatting with Ms.V. So tonight, and I think we're all at that age where we should start looking at this stuff now. And I think it's just important to leave a legacy. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. It's a gnat in here. Legacy. So most of us are 40 or older. So at this point, most of us have acquired quite a few things of your taste, of your desire. You don't have to match nobody. You don't have to compare your stuff with anybody. Your taste is your taste. My taste is my taste. So I don't have to get involved with what nobody else has or what they doing and what they got and what they don't have. I'm too grown for that, okay? And that's too unimportant to me to be worried about it. So, looking lovely as always. Thank you, Carla. Is my picture clear? Because it looks fuzzy to me. Miss V, when he said he had a girlfriend, I said, when they start dating at 11, baby, I told y'all these kids are different. And he wasn't ashamed either. He told me, yeah, like I thought you knew. That kind of stuff. They're a whole different world. So that's why I say we're going to have a talk real soon, okay? Real soon. And then I'm going to have his granddaddy to do a man-on-man talk real soon. Because I want him to keep his mind on his books. He's very, very sharp. He's an A student. And he's in the sports. And don't get your brain cluttered with nonsense. You got plenty of time for that. I'm not telling you can't like the little girl, but y'all just talk on the phone and, talk about schoolwork. Find y'all some interesting topics to talk about. Talk about the movie y'all may have seen. Don't try to get into this love game. First of all, you don't know enough about it. Okay? Reign of Love, great topic. African Americans does not leave anything for their family homes. Money. They're just too busy worrying about their self and other people. What other people got and what other people don't have. That has been the biggest thing out here on YouTube that I've seen. I don't see that so much in my life, in my real world. But once I come out here, that's all you hear. She ain't got this. She ain't got that. Well, what do you have? Talk about what you got. Don't worry about what nobody else has. It's such a waste of time. Deflecting. Stop that. Some of us have a lot. Some of us have not acquired anything materialistic, but might have a bank account out of sight. Most people who have money, if you notice, they drive in cheap cars. They drive in old cars. They dress down when they out in public. They're not trying to let you know what they have with your hand out there begging and going on. Because that's the only reason why a person would be interested in something somebody else got. Because they want it. They're trying to figure out how to get it. Easy. Use your brain and get up. Stop watching YouTube and go get it. You so qualified to come out here on YouTube, be qualified to go up there and get you a job. Did he really have a cell phone since he was 2? He has. He had his auntie's old cell phone he used to play games on. And then I think he was probably about 5 when he got his own cell phone. Because he lives with Sissy, his grandmother. So he would call her. He didn't have that many numbers that he had in his phone, and he got all kind of all those apps we were talking about where he can only watch certain things and all of that. And at one time, he had loaded himself up Facebook. He was on Instagram, and I heard a content creator in there talking. I'm like, wait a minute, that don't sound like nothing you should be listening to. So Tasha is great with computers. So I took the phone in there and she put that app on that way. He's limited to what he can hear, see, touch, feel, whatever. Mm-hmm. His aunt practically raised him. And once she left, he was probably about 4. That's the aunt that lives in Oklahoma, Tasha's oldest daughter. But she was in high school when he was born. I think she was a senior. She was, because she was going a half a day. So in the mornings, his great-grandmother would keep him. And then she would come home at noon and she would be with him until Tasha came home. And he had a heart problem when he was first born. So that's why he was with them, because there was so many of them to take care of him and see about him. But everything is good now, and he's just growing up to be a great child. Hey, Lois, how you doing? So let's get into this legacy. Time is passing, and there's quite a few points I want to bring out tonight. Okay, where am I? So most of us are 40 and older. And hello to everybody coming into the chat. Okay, I get to that, Rena. Let's talk about my commentary first, and then I will tell you what my legacy is. Okay. Most of us are 40 and older. So at this point, we should have acquired personally many material things as well as a bank account. So what is legacy? It's an amount of money or property left to someone in a will. That was the definition that I found of legacy. So that brought about a lot of questions in my mind. Hello, Sarah Rand. You love my stream? Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Do you have one? First of all, have you established yourself to have a legacy? Do you have a will to leave the legacy? A lot of people don't even have a will. I was reading the other night where Johnny Taylor, when he died, did not have a will. His greatest asset was his home, which was worth $1 million. But he had quite a few children. He had gotten some children on the road. Once he passed, he never told the children that he acknowledged by the 2 wives about these outside children. But 3 of them stepped up to the plate, and they ended up being his children. But by him not leaving a will, all the children had to be incorporated in it. And when I got to the end of it, by the time they broke all this money down, paid off his debts and the lawyer and all of that, the smartest thing they did, they all used the same lawyer. They got around $2,000. That's it. So you need to make out a will, people. Put in there who you want to get what. Okay? Do you have anything to leave in a will? You might not need one if you don't have nothing. You got to think about all of that. Hello, ZB the rapper. Please translate that into English so we'll know what you're talking about. I don't speak any other language. Hey, Misty, how's it going? So, I always got to go back to the Bible to find out what did the Bible say about a legacy. So the first thing I found was in Proverbs 13 and 22. It says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. So that would be his grandchildren. And I wonder why they wrote it like that. So that's puzzling to me. It did not say to his children. It said to his children's children. Now, maybe that might mean, I might have to go to my pastor about that, because that might mean that you're leaving to your children all the way down to your children's children, which would be your grandchildren. I'm not sure about that, but I will consult him on Sunday about Proverbs 13:22. This Bible verse about legacy keeps our life goals, our visions, and our future front and center when we're choosing how to use our money today. When we weigh what we want versus what we have, we realize that what feels good right now may not feel so good in the future. It doesn't matter if you paid $40,000 for furniture in the past. It depreciates just like everything else. It wears out just like everything else. So is it really worth anything to leave behind to somebody else? Because everybody, by the time, if you live to get old, they're going to have their own furniture. What makes you feel like they're going to want yours? I have seen people go through houses and they're looking for money and they're looking for things of value. And everything else is dumped out on the street, in the garbage, in the trash. Things that meant so much to you may not mean anything to anybody else. Just want you to know that. When we weigh those things out, like I said, that's the kind of things we have to think in mind. I've already told you, if my child come through here, it would be very little she would want. She already has her own. Our taste is different. She won't bank. She will be looking for money to be left behind, property to be left behind. That's why you got to do your own individual research in your mind of how you want things left behind. Let's see. We realize that what feels good right now in the moment won't last, like leaving a legacy of purpose and generational wealth. And I think that's where we fall short as a Black people. We don't leave generational wealth. We don't have life insurance policies. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you get them when you're young so they won't cost so much? Because they're going to devalue because of inflation anyway. Let's just say you took out a $50,000 life insurance policy when you were in your 20s. $50,000 ain't going to be much if you live to be my age and you got more than one child. All of these things you should start thinking about early in life. Don't wait to get to be my age to go looking for a life insurance policy. You probably can't afford it. You might not be in the health that you can even get one. There's a lot of them out there say, well, we'll give you one regardless of your health, but best believe it's expensive. Hey, Miss Jackie Johnson. Hey, Luana. Rena is saying facts. It's true. And inheritance also includes godly character, like integrity and trustworthiness. When you combine inheritance with wisdom and character, this makes sure the next generation will manage through blessings that you have left behind. Go to Proverbs 22:7. And I don't want y'all to feel like I'm preaching, but that's where I got my research from on legacy, okay? In Proverbs 22:7, it says, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. So I have to think that they're talking about if you're a slave to the lender, the rich own everything which you go borrow from them. When you go to the bank, when you go to the credit union, when you do any kind of financial transaction, you're going to them for the money. Mortgage company, that's who own it. We own very little, very few banks. There's a few out there that's Black owned, very few. Mortgage companies, very few, and probably can't go up to the amount that you really need. If The inflation of houses now, where a normal house here in the South, where everything was always much cheaper, 300 to 400,000 is an average home here now. If I take the same home and I sit it off in California, that home could be $1 million. Because I've seen chicken coops out there that cost $1 million. I was thinking I was going to a fabulous home because I was comparing it to homes in the South. So you have to look at different areas of the country. When we lived in Baltimore, my husband's home was valued more than my home here in the South, and I was sitting on an acre just because of where he lived. So you see what I'm saying? But if I could have picked up my house and the acre it was sitting on and put it up there, I would have had $1 million home. Easy. Because of the land. Ain't no land up on those East Coasts in a lot of cities. You jammed up on each other. You have space in the South because you got more land. Hey, Kara Anna, good evening. Good evening to you, blessings. Yes, Cobra is $600 a month. There it is. Blessings are giving you the figure out here. She says facts. Carol Anna, hey, Miss V, how you doing, Carol Anna? Blessing is also saying, however, I'll try not to pay off my mortgage because I need that credit income. You're not going to have anything if you pay it off. The house we lived in Texas City, I paid it off in 79 because my daughter graduated in 81 and I didn't want that house note hanging over my head, nor did I want my husband to feel like he was responsible for footing her bill through college because that was not his daughter. That was his stepdaughter. Although he treated her like that was his daughter, and they are still very close today. And she's 42 years old. Okay. Hey, Keisha Boyd, how you doing this evening? Okay, California has huge $1 million homes. Just depends on where you are. I was in San Francisco, and I was really, really shocked. I've owned rent houses that look better than that and valued at less. Yeah. Miss V, I've been subscribed to you for a few weeks now. The last time I sent you, you were running out of your apartment because of the smoke alarm. Okay, that was this weekend or last week. These days running into each other because I haven't been at work, so I don't know one day from the other right now. I think the day is Thursday and tomorrow is Friday. But I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've gotten a lot of subscribers, but not a lot of them have come into the chat yet. Yeah. I like this verse because it speaks honestly about the relationship between a borrower and a lender. And that came from Proverbs 22:7. This is where I got my research on legacy. God wants us to hear from him and speak and hear from him and serve people in his name. In his name. See how we take things out of context? We do that. So we all fail there. Me included. I'm not perfect. I never said I was. And come short of the glory of. By debt payments, we all can have freedom and options. When you are in debt, you are limited in your ability to make changes and help others. At some point in life, most of us are going to be in debt. I've been in and out of debt all of my life. I pay off a car. I don't have no note no more. Car gets old. I get tired of it. Got too many miles on it. I go get in debt again. We're in one house in one part of the country. Paid it off. We're moving again. So unless you're a sedentary person and you just sit on the same thing, okay, fine. But even that has gotten older. Have you upgraded? Have you put in new toilets? Have you took that Formica off the counter? Because if you got it before the 90s, it's got Formica on there. Are you working with granite now? You taking that carpet out and put you some hardwood in? Because they've already have said that carpet was bad for people, especially those with allergies, because the dirt is beaten down in there while you're trying to clean it. And hardwood is so much easier to maintain. Okay, I'm right here, Kara Anna. Please hit that like button and share out Miss V. Positive content. Thank you, Kara Anna. Blessing. Up north is different than Cali. However, we're not big on huge homes, just living nice and comfortable. I've been to California lots. Blessing. My mother had a sister that lived in Los Angeles that worked for the IRS, and we visited with her and her daughter all the time before they passed away. So I got a chance to see a lot of different areas of California. Um, my mom was big on vacationing and taking us places so we could see different things. And she had 7 sisters, so we spent a lot of time in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas. She had a sister in Detroit, so we spent time up there in the summer. She had another sister in Gary, 2 sisters in Gary. So we spent time in Gary, Indiana. She had 2 that lived in the city where she lived. So 3 of them lived in my hometown. And then the rest of them, they left and with Louisiana boys and went to these other places so they could make a better life for themselves. Things were just not booming in the South when they were coming up as girls and young ladies. Okay. Yes, pay off those cars. Those payments aren't worth it as soon as you can. And all that interest you paying on it. I told you I'm doing twice a month on mine before the note is due to cut back on all that interest. Because I hadn't had a car note in a long, long time. I paid $80,000 for the last vehicle I had, which was the QX56 Infinity, the SUV. So I got my money's worth out of it. I had passed that stage in life where I'm switching out cars before I pay for them. The one before that was a Mercedes 500. What was the thing? CLS or something like that. But that car was a $120,000 Mercedes. The Lexus was 90 some $1,000. So I spent a lot of money on cars before. That's why it didn't bother me to go out there and get a Nissan now. Where the hell I'm going? Right around here. Maybe a state or 2 over. And the other thing, I'm going to be on a plane. I needed an SUV because I'm always hauling and I'm always packing. So I got what I needed, okay? Hey, Pierre, how you doing? Pierre, you made his day, baby. I gave him 20, and when you put that little donation in there, I gave it to him. And he's talking about, oh, I need to come out here on YouTube more often. I said, no, you don't. I'm not fixing to teach you to come out here begging and scamming. You came on here today, they'll see you again next year, okay? Bye. Get on in the house. He is funny now. I told him, get him a channel, okay? Talk about football. That's what you like. Keisha, with carpet, use high carpet first, then medium or low, or it will push the dirt instead of ducking it off the top. You know, Keisha, when I really found out about carpet was when we took the carpet up in the Texas City house to put down hardwood flooring in the, where did I put it? I put it in the living room and dining room area in that house. And I kept the carpet in the bedrooms because the husband didn't want to step out on the floor or a rug that might slide from under him. So I put new carpet in the bedrooms, but I changed it out. But when they picked that carpet up, and I'm telling you, we vacuum all the time because my daughter suffered with allergies. So that's when I realized that sand, it was nothing but sand up underneath there that had beaten down into that carpet over the years. You vacuuming across the top of it, and it's beating the dirt down in there. And we had a What is that vacuum cleaner they always talking about? Hoover? Is that the one they always talking about? It's such so good where people come to your house and they demonstrate it and then they give you this big price. Now, Kirby, that's the one it was. So I kind of strayed away from a lot of carpet. In here, it's all hardwood, all the way across. Bathroom, bedroom, living room, kitchen, it's all the same hardwood. And I thought I'd never put hardwood in a kitchen, but it's holding up pretty good because of the grease. If the grease get on it, don't bother at all. Yes, we travel a lot when I was younger, and that gave you a big education traveling. Yep. I can remember almost all the trips my mom took me on. My dad had a half sister that lived in Arizona, in Flagstaff, Arizona. And that was the first time I had been on an Indian reservation. That's the first time I'd ever seen a canyon, a Grand Canyon. You can drive down into the Oak Creek Canyon. I was probably about fifth grade when I did that. But I think traveling is very important. And if you can't go far, go as far as you can. I made sure my daughter traveled a lot. Yeah, before she left here. And I'm seeing that she's doing the same thing with her children. Okay. Let's see, where are y'all? And then I'm going to get back into my commentary. Wow, you can get a C class for less now. But those Mercedes sedans are in the 100K category. I can't remember the numbers on the back of it, but it was a 500. It had a lot of stuff on it that the normal Mercedes don't have. I had an elevation where I could push a button and say I'm going into rainy roads where the water was high on the road. I could make the car come up where it wouldn't flood my car out, or I could let it down. It's just a whole lot of things on that car that wasn't on the normal Mercedes that you just run up there and get every day. Yep. Okay, Tajis is in the building also. Yeah, how often do you steam clean? Stanley is now a member of my family. I know that's right. I don't have to do that anymore. Keisha, I don't have any carpet anymore. Not Tiger. Hi, how are you doing? You're late? It's okay. Jesus loves you, and I appreciate that. My sister said, no carpet either. It's not good if you have allergies. It's really not, because of the fibers in the carpet. Good evening, Granny K. How you doing? Pink looks good on you. Thank you. And I don't have very much of it, but lately I've been trying a lot of pink because people have been telling me that. Okay, so back to the commentary. Where am I? I got to find where I was. So let me stop right here. And I have been guilty, and probably you too, of trying to help those who don't appreciate it. Helping those who did absolutely nothing to better themselves, even when I help them. That's so irritating to me. So now, since I realize that people will take your kindness for a weakness, I look back to see what do they do with the money. I look for change and progress in people. I can sit back now because I've been out here on social media a long time, somewhere since 2008, 2010 as a subscriber, and just looking at YouTube and looking at social media, Facebook, Instagram. And I don't see a lot of changes. I don't see a lot of growth in people. I don't see where they've tried to educate themselves. I don't see where they've upgraded their homes. I don't see anything. They could very well have it. They're showing you, but they're not seeing. And lately, they've been going behind the green wall. So you'll probably never know. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, so I really don't care. I'm just looking at what my eyes see. And those are usually the people who come at you the hardest, the less thans. All right. Let's see. Then I look in homes for helpmates. I see a lot of men in a lot of homes in real life. And I'm thinking, it's two of y'all. It should be two incomes. What are you showing me? But you out here tearing folks down every day. You on the phone gossiping and whispering and talking about people. Do you really have time to do that? And you over 40? Anybody over 40 ain't got that kind of time. You should be trying to get your kids out the house, get them educated, or get them into a job that they can take care of themselves. So that'll be part of your legacy right there. You got self-sustaining children. Okay? So I found another verse in the Bible. Hebrews 13, in the book of Hebrews 13 and 5. Keep your lives free from the love of money. Never had read that before until I started researching about legacy. And be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. We don't take that serious. We don't have enough faith in him. We don't want to wait on him. We don't want to get up and do what it takes to have the life that you really want to live and the lifestyle you really want to live. I never ever worried about what people were saying and doing. I did a lot of stuff in my 20s that most people haven't done in their 40s and 50s. I don't know too many people that built a 5,000 square foot house from the ground up at 27 years old. Okay? I ain't talking about going out there and getting a home already built. No. From the drawing of the plan to taking it to the architect, letting him draw it to scale, I drew my own home. And that's why I can't get bothered with people that don't know me, because you haven't even come close to what I've done in life. Not bragging, facts. It's out here on videos. I've shown you the homes. Told you the address. Well, you can go back and dox it and you'll find my name on it. I was busy most of my life trying to acquire things in life. I didn't just want to come through the world and look at what somebody else got and get jealous of it. No, I went and got it for myself. The topic tonight is on legacy, Keisha. Leaving a legacy behind. And you'll probably have to go back and catch the first of the video, because we've been actually going to the Bible, seeing what the Bible is saying about legacy. Okay? So far, we've been to Proverbs and Hebrews. When we envy what other people have, money, new cars, big homes, we should be looking at better health, so you can get up in the morning when that alarm clock go off and you can go out there and make it. But where I see where we make a lot of mistakes as Black folks, first of all, we're crabs in the bucket from slavery. We haven't broken that mentality yet, where you trying to pull the other one down instead of trying to pull the other one up. See, it should be going this way, okay? But instead it's going this way. Why is my question. How is it helping you to pull somebody down when if you helping pull them up, you going up too? A lot of stuff to me just don't make sense. Hey, Brittany. At 27, I was party animal queen. You better than me. I never did a lot of partying in my life. I liked house parties, but all that clubbing and stuff, I didn't like all that smoke in there and strange people coming up to you wanting to buy you a drink. And if you stayed in there close to 2 o'clock in the morning, they hustling you. I just never cared too much for all that. I was busy vacationing and just, I did my life different than a lot of my friends even. Thank you, Brittany, for becoming a member or renewing your membership. I don't know which one it is. Okay. But I appreciate it. Okay. I'm trying to keep up with y'all in the chat too. All right. So where am I? So we all no, that's not where I am. I done talked about that. It's hard when you're trying to keep up with the chat and give commentary too. I used to like to just give commentary, but then I couldn't interact with the people. I was Air Force, always in the nightclubs. Teachers on. But it doesn't matter. If you were there in your 20s, that's when you should have been there. It's too late for me to go out there now, even if I wanted to. What I look like sitting up out there, my daughter's even out of that stage. So my grandchildren are becoming teenagers. It's just some things in life are just not appropriate at certain stages. And I think 40 is that turning point. If you're going to ever grow up and become an adult and start thinking like an adult and acting like an adult, we should see that change at 40. All this other propaganda is just propaganda. Nope. Okay. Chasing after what someone else has will distract you from doing what you need to be doing. I'll call you back, whoever it is. So don't get so wrapped up in what somebody else got. Who cares? First of all, my mom always told me as a little girl, hey, Glam, do not ever worry about how someone got what they got or what they got, because you don't know how they got it. Everybody didn't go to work and go out there and spend time on a job to get what they got. There's all kind of ways of getting things. Okay? Somebody could have died and left it to them. They could have went out there and stole it for all we know. They could have worked in a furniture company. They could have worked for a contractor. They may have family that were contractors. So how are you going to compete with that? You can't. Do you? That's all you can do. Hey, Holistic. Hello, everyone coming in the chat. Please hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. Okay? God is doing in our lives He's doing everything you need in your life. But this is where we come short. We don't get up and try to help ourselves and we expect to pray about it and it just fall in our lap. It does not work like that. You got to get up and make some effort, make your move for him to bless you. You got to show him you worth of it. Why should he drop $1 million in your lap and you ain't never had $1 million? How long you gonna have it? Just like them lottery winners that go out there and ain't never had no money and they broke within the year. If they even make a year. Hi, Tina Lucky. How you doing? Welcome to Chatting with Ms.V. You got to know how to manage things. And if you don't, you better get with a financial planner who can help you. Not your sister, not your brother. You're going to come up short. Okay? Because then you're going to end up sharing with them. You got to make that money, make you some money. A lot of people make dumb mistakes when they go out there. If they come up with $1 million, which is not $1 million, ain't what it used to be when homes are $300,000, $400,000, $600,000 homes these days. Okay, but let's just say they get $1 million. What's the first thing they gonna do? Go buy $1 million house. You ain't think about you got other bills that go with that house, utility bills, taxes, all that, and that's why they walk in the front door and leave out the back door. Instead of going out there buying something affordable and taking the money and investing the money with A.G. Edwards or Fidelity or one of these big financial institutions that can help grow your money, they try to do it themselves. So you're really not making the most you can on your money if you just go stick it up in the bank. Banks ain't paying no interest on no money. They cut that out a long time ago. I hope I'm not missing anybody. I think, hey, Lily, how you doing? I use a spending tracker, and that's good. My ex-husband used to do that on the computer. I'm going to tell you about this man. He had things tracked so well. He could track his utility bills and go back and compare them to last year. And then try to figure out what changed. Okay? From month to month. And if one came up out of line from last August to this August and the heat index was about the same, he gonna put that up on there and put a yellow mark on there. I said, oh no, I can't live like that, buddy. Because if I need air, I'm gonna turn on the air and I done gone on. Next thing you're gonna be doing is measuring the water. But he was military. And so his mind was focused way different than mine. Okay. Y'all are still speaking. Thomas, how you doing? Hey, Miss V. I am new to your channel. Love watching you. God bless you. I'm from Michigan. Welcome, Thomas. I appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button, like, and come on in and get in the chat. And I'm glad you came in to the chat. And feel free to always come in. Okay. Rich people invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Yes, all of that, Carla. They put so much money into stocks, but trust and believe they watching those stocks. I made a lot of money on stocks when I was working for Amoco because we could go in and look at our stock every day and buy low and sell high. Watch the stock splits. You could be making 2 for 1 or 3 for 1, meaning for every dollar I was putting in there, they were matching me dollar for dollar. It don't take long for your money to grow. And you buying in, let's say at $40 a share, and then the stock go up to $80 a share, sell and buy back in. You're not physically taking the money out. You selling the stock and putting the stock back in again when it go low. Hard times came around in the 80s. Better pull out them stocks. They too volatile. You don't know what they're going to do. Go into something safe. Go into mutual funds. Go into bonds. You have to understand investments in order to invest. That's why I say sit down with a financial planner. Let them explain all this stuff to you. You just can't walk in there and say, I want to invest in stock. What is the history of their stocks? If you didn't know nothing else, before COVID, everybody should have probably got some stock in Walmart. Buying low, selling high. They were moving up the scale just like that. And they never went real low. Okay? And you could probably get in at $40 a share and just watch them. They have a good selling season, Christmas or whatever. Yeah, you could have made a lot of money out of Walmart stocks alone. Just saying. When computers came around, Dell, all of them. But you got to be able to study this stuff and understand it. And like I say, see how volatile it is, how it's moving. All the gas stocks, chemical stocks. Back when I was working in the chemical company, every last one of them was a good investment. I just happened to be working for one. So it was easy for me to invest in it and watch it all day long. It's on the computer. It's coming up. If things change, we didn't have to call nobody. You can watch it yourself. You're correct, Carol Anna, not lower dividend savings account. Yep. Keisha says, yep, that's my children's father down to the penny. Baby, I couldn't deal with that. He is military. Mine was in the Navy. USS Daniel Webster. It's a ship that's been pulled off the line now. I forget the term they call it. But when he stepped on there, it was him and a friend. They went on a buddy system. Only 2 blacks on that ship. Very sharp man. He came off that ship and went into Chicago to the home office, applied with Amoco. They hired him that day. He took care of everything in that plant when it came down to maintaining it. He had been trained for it for years. They made their own drinking water on the ship. They were submerged for 6 months. That was a problem. Once you got out of that, trying to reestablish yourself back into real life, it wasn't easy. And he is who he is today. If he say he was washing on Thursday, you better not have nothing in the washing machine. Don't wash his clothes because you don't know how to fold his clothes, okay? Military people are different. Yeah. Um, Measure the water. You're laughing. And baby, it could have come down to that. I ain't lying. I was like, ooh, he get on my nerves. Yeah. He parked on the same side of the garage all the time. I had the left side facing the street, and he came in on the right side. Don't get on his side. He couldn't handle that. Everything was structured, everything was routine, everything had to go by the book. I would have hated to have been working for him. We worked at the same plant, and he was over maintenance. He took care of all of the units, from the nut, the bolt, to everything that made that plant run. He was over it. He had about, probably in his group, he probably had about 400 men that worked with him or for him. I wouldn't want to be one of them. Because if he had to get up from his desk and come out there and do it, it was going to be a slight problem. And he cut up in the meetings because he had been there when those units came up. He knew them from inside and out. He could say whatever he wanted to. They weren't going to get rid of him. Who else was going to be able to come and take his place? Before he retired, they brought in people for him to train them. Yeah. Before he left. Nobody had that much knowledge. That's how I do sometimes to save on my electric bill. I'll turn the whole thing off and unplug all appliances I'm not using. Okay? That's a good idea, Kimberly. It really is. But you got to get yourself in that frame of mind and remember to do all of that. You've probably been doing it for a while. I only do that when I'm leaving home. Like on vacation for a week or two, I unplug everything. And I leave ceiling fans on. That's it. Mm-hmm. He also will not use an ATM that charges him to get his own money. So he'll drive up to the bank and, well, at my bank, they don't charge to use the ATM at my bank, but everywhere else they charge. So I get it because it does add up. What I've started trying to do with that is once my money falls into the bank, there's a check that's going to fall in next week. Well, if I need cash money, I'll go into the bank and I'll get enough money to last me until the next check falls. So, because I don't like carrying a lot of cash money, I use my debit card most of the time for everything. But at some points in life, you do need cash money. Like I got a lady making me a mask for an event that I'm going to, and she called me today and she said the mask was $20. Well, she don't have no debit card machine or no charge card, so I have to have $20 when I see her at church on Sunday. Yeah. I saw a video that said poor people work to pay bills and rich people work to invest to make more money. And that's facts. That is true. Tagistic. A good wealth management representative will usually put your funds into diversified accounts. Facts, Carol Anna. That's true. You're going to have, and they'll talk to you about that. And they'll ask you about that. How much are you trying to make? Are you trying to do safe investments? And then they're going to send you the sheet of everywhere they've invested your money. And you can call them up and you can say, well, I think I want to get out of that. Or, things are a little shaky right now. Like when the sea hit. Now I'm going to move my money out of these stocks because I don't know when it's over with if these companies are going to even be around. They could fold overnight. Put my money into mutual funds. Put my money in the bonds. At least I have my money. I might not be making a lot of money, but at least I have it. You got to think. Keisha, to just the right, he pays himself every pay before his bills. Now, I did that when I was in business. When I owned the beauty shop and the barber shop, I was on a pay. Okay? And I didn't change it up just because maybe I made $1,000 more that week than I did the last week. I I took the same salary. Okay, there was no need to bump it up. Let that money go into savings. That's how I did it. He sounds like he got it together, Keisha. Hey, Holistic, how you doing? Oh my God, I am like that. Oh, it's just some people are like that, and I mean, they're not gonna change, Keisha. Keisha Boyd, he is right, and it's possible to pay yourself first, but gotta put a lot of work into it. I paid myself first, and I paid my bills next, and I didn't play about them giving me my money on Saturday. We closed usually about 1 o'clock on Saturday. We came in at 6 o'clock in the morning. Everybody. Before 12 o'clock on Saturday, I needed my money. And they all paid cash money. Even though I had a debit card machine in there, which would have taken a credit card and a debit card, nobody never paid on the card. They gave me cash money, a benefit to me. You know, if you ever owned a business. Keisha, he is just like that. He pulls out an itinerary, a map of the amusement parks. I said, oh, hell no. Nah. Been there. Yeah. It's just amazing to be around people like that. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Real Spills, how's it doing? How's it going? How you doing? What deeds instead of a will? What deeds instead of a will? I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. What deeds instead of a will? Come back with that, Knock Tag. I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about. Okay, Tajissa says, my kids' educational savings is in 3 different investments and it's doing good. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's another thing that'll drain you, drive you not prepared for it. Unless you want them to get out there and get deep in debt, making all them loans. And when they get out, they got to go to work because they want that money. As soon as you walk across that stage, the next month, you better be looking. Better already be done look before you got out of there. Okay. And it takes years to pay back those loans. Keisha said he has it completed together and helps me, but I am not as disciplined. That's what it takes is discipline, Keisha. Yeah. Letting an obsession with money control you is the worst thing in the world you could do. Because your life is consumed about money then. Why should you be so consumed about money if you know you got money? It's those that don't have it that get consumed with the little money that they get. And if they don't get it right, it's not going to last. Family money don't last. Drug money don't last. Anything that you get that you didn't work for, even if somebody give it to you, it's not going to last if you don't have the discipline to do something with it that's going to make it last. Keisha say, it used to irritate me. Now it is what I love about him. He's good for you. He is, and you're not. That's a good balance. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, a deed for homes? Okay, when you have a home, you can, and you own it. I'm not sure what you're asking, but if you own the home, like the home I had in Louisiana that my mom left for me, that home had been paid for years. I actually could take it and deed the home, which I did, to my nephew, who now owns my mother's home, who is his grandmother. Okay? You can also, if a home is paid for, you can borrow against the home. Now, if you don't pay them people that money back, they're going to come snatch it out from under you. Okay? Because you're going to have a note to pay back on that money you borrowed, or they come and get it. So you better think before you do something like that. Kimberly says, I wonder, do they mean trust instead of a will? Now, this came straight out the Bible, Kimberly. So things could be written different today versus when the Bible was written. Okay. A deed is what you get when the home is paid for. Exactly, Kimberly. Or if you have the home inherited. You're absolutely right. Um, okay. Hey, Deborah Silver, how you doing? You and Betty Herron, Michelle Tanner. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm 70 years old. How can I be pretty? I ain't no 70-year-old pretty, but that's thank you. Okay. Keisha, they need to go play in the different chats. Oh, the trolls coming in. I've been just skipping over them if I got down to them. I'm trying to get all of y'all's comments. I think I hit the bottom. Okay, so let me try to wrap this up. I also went, it says, once you get there, to whom much is given, much is required. Biblical. So the more you get, the more is required of you. That's in everyday life. You see it. That's why older people like myself, I don't have a problem downsizing. I don't give a damn what nobody think or okay, she don't have nothing because she don't own a home no more. Think what you want to think. I don't want all them responsibilities anymore. It just don't do nothing for me. I am busy trying to get my income tax together, and I've been working on it for a couple of weeks now. I don't want to do that. I just want to have a simple life when I file next year. Now, how I'm going to do it, I ain't figured that out yet. But it's coming down to that. Just like it came down to getting out that house. I don't want that responsibility. I don't want to call nobody for nothing but them people up there and tell them, and it's already paid for in the rent. Okay? It'd be different if I had never owned a home before, but I've owned many. So that don't mean nothing to me. We inherited my dad's home, and the grandmother owed money from 27 years ago. Oops, it jumped. And they snatched it off the top. Yeah, if you don't come and pay that money, they gonna come for it. And back taxes too. If they owe some taxes on it, that's another way they can snatch it up. And that's another way you can pick it up. You can go up there and look for those homes that people owe back taxes, pick up them taxes and put it in your name. Go through the necessary process and get it in your name. If you are faithful over a few things, he will make you a ruler over many. You ain't never lied, Thomas. That is straight out the Bible. Yes, indeed. And that's why you don't see a lot of people with a lot of stuff because they ain't faithful with the little bit they got. So how could they be faithful and be made a ruler over much? Every time you see them, they got their hand out. No, not good. 1 Timothy 5:8 says, anyone who does not provide for their relatives, especially for their own household, has denied faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Now, y'all can go back in there and read it for yourself and decipher what you want to decipher from it. If you own a home and it's paid for, you have to pay the taxes on the home every year. Best believe it. Or you won't be in there too long. They ain't gonna let you get too far behind on these taxes either, because of the tax base that a lot of homes, it's based on the size of the home, the square feet of the home, how much property is sitting on. And like I say, here in this area, you can be sitting on a pretty nice piece of property, 10 acres. 5, 6, 7, 8,000 square feet homes. You paying $20,000 a year. Get behind if you want to. They're going to steady be adding accumulated taxes on that house when you get behind, which is going to make you have to pay more than you would have if you had paid it off. Keisha says, I absolutely enjoyed just chit-chatting. Thank you, Ms. V. You are so welcome. Okay. So that just about wraps up what I want to talk to y'all about tonight is your legacy. And I think somebody came in the beginning and they asked me, what is my legacy? I'm leaving behind property. I'm leaving behind a home. Believe it or not, I still have a home that I own in another state. I'm leaving behind wealth for my children. I have life insurance policies, 4 to be exact. And mainly my grandchildren. My daughter is on her feet. she already has a beautiful two-story home. She's educated and she can move around in the medical field. She has a husband. He's working. He's making money. So she'll be fine. Okay. Plus, I feel like I've given her so much growing up. In high school, a brand new Honda. In college, a brand new, what was that thing? A Zuzu Rodeo Edition, SUV. Living off campus in an apartment. Sending her to Mexico on her senior trip. Traveling all over the world every spring break. So I feel like I've given her what I need to give her. I need to make sure that those grandchildren are going to have their education paid for. I don't know what they're going to turn out to be. I kind of see my grandson going aeronautical in some form of space exploration or something. He's into that kind of stuff. Um, Lauren, probably something in the field of dietitian, cooking, meal preparations. She loves to cook. But she could turn out to be anything. But whatever, I want to make sure it is financially okay to do what she want to do. Also, if you are a military veteran or senior citizen, you get a discount on property taxes. You sure do. I didn't realize that until 65. Your tax base goes down. You're correct. And another thing about being a military vet, if you have children, they can use your military to go to college on, or to go to different kind of schools. It could be a junior college, or you could be going to pursue something else, just taking college course, some type of certificate. Like my stepson went to be an electrician at a junior college. He didn't want to go to a 4-year university. Electricians make good money. Plumbers make even more. Because when your toilet break down, you don't care how much they charge. You want it fixed, right? That's what I'm saying. They can about set their own prices. Kimberly, let's see. I read that. Keisha, Mr. Green, absolutely. I don't have to pay any property taxes. Good for you. And the tax base is different in every state. It all depends on where you live. Okay. Holistic, keeping the family name alive and continue the tradition and legacy of our parents, homes, and properties. That's probably the greatest statement that was made in the chat today, is keeping the legacy alive. What my great grandfather passed on to my granddaddy passed it on to my father, and my father and mother passed it on to us. And I want to pass it on to my portion of it to my grandchildren, and keeping the legacy alive. Y'all, it's been fun talking to y'all. I hope y'all have enjoyed the conversation. If you are disabled, you don't have to pay property tax where I live. That's good. But I'm not sure about that here, because I know a guy, he passed away and he was handicapped, but I want to say they paid taxes on the property that they had. I'm gonna have to check into that here in Texas. Okay. Keisha said, yes, chapter 35. Keisha, my daughter gets free education and has been using the benefits. Yeah, you can. My daughter was not my second husband's father, but he wanted to adopt her so he wouldn't have to pay out any money. I wouldn't have to pay out any money to go to college. She didn't want to do it, so we ended up paying $10,000 the first semester she was at Xavier, and $10,000 the second semester. Luckily, she didn't like it and came back to Texas to school, but we paid $20,000 out of our pocket just for tuition, books, and whatever that first year. And she had some help. Okay. Some grants and stuff, because education is expensive nowadays. That's why I tell these kids, don't go stepping off into them 4-year universities and run up debt that you got to pay back on them loans. Wow, Betty, interesting, says Holistic. Yapping for no reason. I appreciate you coming in, but you come. Keisha, 100 service connected has zero property taxes in a lot of states. 100 service connected. I'm going to have to check on that, Keisha, because I don't know anything about that. You too, holistic, because you're disabled. Keisha says 100%. All right, y'all. I have not eaten any of my salad and I'm starving. But I appreciate if you own more than one home, you can only claim homestead exempt on one. You're correct. You're correct. We've owned more than one home at one time. We did the homestead on the house back here in Texas. Couldn't do it on the one in Baltimore. But anyway, y'all have a great night. I appreciate y'all coming in. Hit that like button for me on the way out. Thank you to my moderators for coming in, moderating. Y'all was such a great chat. I appreciate that. I've yet to see a U-Haul behind a hearse. And you won't. You won't. I did go down in West Texas, and there was this very wealthy man down there. I think it's called Cadillac Ranch, where he had all these Cadillacs he had bought. And if you coming down whatever major highway that is, somewhere up near Amarillo, he's got all these Cadillacs sticking up out the ground on his property. I thought, how dumb was that? He got some descendants somewhere. But anyway, y'all have a good night, and we'll see each other tomorrow for another great topic. Love you much. Thank you for coming in. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Y'all have a great night.